Today I'm going to show you around Tora. So to start with, Tora is 7 meters long, she's 2.3 meters wide and 3.2 meters tall. It does say she's slightly shorter than that, but we do take extra account for obviously this bit on the top and the aerials on the back for the solar panel system and for the TV aerials. So starting off, we have keys. You have two lots of keys when you go out and hire. You've got one with the tracker, which is a circular one, and then the key that opens everything behind the Ford front. And then you've got the other set of keys. Both have an identifier, which obviously say Tora, to let you know those are your keys. And then we've got the Ford old-fashioned flick button, open at the top one, lock is the middle. And then you have got your alarm fob. So if you hold it so the keyring is in your hand, the small button with the dimples, if you press it, you will see this light here flash. And then this will start flashing for 20 seconds like it is now, and that means it's setting. Once it is armed, then it will flash every 10 seconds intermittently to let you know the vehicle is armed. There are a few settings inside which I will show you very shortly. To deactivate it, the same small button, press it, this will go, flash again, and now it's no longer flashing, and that is when it is disarmed. Okay, so inside the driver's cab, I've got my two keys. My one with the tracker, I always put in that cup holder there. It needs to be within a meter of the driver's column when the engine is switched on. If it's not, if it's in the back or somebody that was with you has just stepped out to the shop, we will get a notification from the insurance company. We will give you a call to make sure the vehicle is safe. If we don't hear from you, it will be on high alert and potentially we could shut down the engine. So please answer the phone if we're calling you. It will be for the reason to make sure the vehicle is safe. So other than that, we have our driver's key and you're going to flip that, pop that in there. On manual, you need to press the clutch down and then turn the engine on. I'm not going to do that because it's going to drown out my voice. And then on the steering wheel, we've got cruise controls, we've got your volume controls, phone controls, and then you've got your indicators this side, pull towards you to have your high beam, and then on this side, you've got your windscreen wipers and the wash pull towards you. Then we are going to go and look at the handbrake. The handbrake is very difficult on these vehicles, and only Ford do it bizarrely. So I'm just going to put my foot on the brake so it doesn't roll backwards while I do this. So it doesn't do anything. It just likes to go out of the way. So it's currently on, represented by the exclamation mark, the red one on the dash. So you're going to pull this up to where it should usually be, and then it will stop. We're not going to put any pressure on it. We're going to then lightly put some pressure on, press the button, pull it up and all the way down, and then you can see it starting to roll, and the red exclamation mark has disappeared. To put it back on, we're just going to press and pull up, and then it's done. So they do take a little while to get used to. Please be asking us in person to show you if you are finding that difficult. Just always make sure that red light is off on the dashboard. Otherwise, if you're driving with it on, it can cause huge, huge problems. Whilst we're down here, we're going to look at our lights just there and our wing mirrors. And then I'm going to slide slightly back, and then I'm going to show you these buttons here. So the blue lights here match the ones on the outside. When they are on like that, it means that they are projecting, so they're high volume. And when they're off, it just means they're dim. They're not actually off. So you use it like that on a campsite. The bottom one, the red, that means your internal sensors are on. So when you go out for the day, make sure that's on. If anyone smashes the window, it's going to pick them up before they even get in. So make sure that's on. It's off for when you sleep. And then this one is to do with your bike rack, which I will show at the back. Down means it's on. It needs to be up so it's off. Otherwise, your alarm is going to constantly go off. So what we usually say, these two are on when you go out for the day, the vehicle's left on its own. And then at night time, those two are off so you can move about and it's not projecting to your neighbours. However, if you are wild camping, I would say to have that blue flashing really fiercely. So if you're out in a field or you're in an air abroad, just make sure that's on high. So back towards the centre. This is a manual. You pull up on the collar, push far left and up for reverse. Then I'm not going to go through the controls. They're very standard vehicle controls. This system will do Bluetooth, so it can play your music and get your phone. It does not have sat nav, so we have this little contraption here which comes with it. And I usually have my nav on there, music playing through here, and then up on the top here, you have got your rear camera. So I'm just going to put the ignition on so we can see that. So you can see usually it is set so it is outwards. And then when you go into reverse, it will go down like that. So I always have it set on the upward position, so when you're driving you can see behind you at all times, which I find really beneficial. So then I'm going to just point out the wing mirrors. On here they are wide arm ones and they stick out quite a bit, and that's your gauge. If you don't think you're going to get past something, you're going to hit those stop, because once you hit this habitation it's kind of really difficult and it's a lot of money. So if you don't think you're going to get through somewhere, just stop, let people go around you. We always say to customers, if people get stressy and they're telling you to move, just don't, just stand your ground. They will identify it as a hired vehicle and they would much prefer to go around you than you try and squeeze through and damage their car. So that's our top tip, just let people stop and go around you. I'm now going to show you around the vehicle, starting on the driver's side. So first of all, you've got your Truma point here. This is where the emissions come out of the heating and water system, so don't cover that up. And as it says on it, it can get hot, so just make sure your children aren't playing around by that. Then we come to this here. We have got the fresh water tank. It's used on this key, just like a petrol cap. It comes undone, and then you put the hose in. Only use the blue hose in the vehicle that we provide you with, because ones on campsites you can't guarantee that people haven't used them in their toilets to clean the cassettes out. So always use our fresh blue hoses for putting in here, and represented by the lovely blue, meaning fresh water. When you're done, always lock it, pop it down, and then underneath we have got our arm for the dirty grey water, which is on your showers and your sinks. So you pull it in the designated area. You need to make sure that you are on a campsite where you can do it, in a service station, and just be mindful that people aren't in the knowledge that they are just the grey tanks. They think they're linked to water. So I'll obviously just do it in designated areas. So I'm going to push it in. So when you're out, it should always be pushed in like that, and then it will keep the water in until you're going to empty it. We come backwards to the toilet cassette. So I'm just going to press it. If it does not come out, it means that the toilet is open on the inside. So you must obviously then go in, close that. Don't force it because it will rip the bottom of the side off, which is quite expensive. And then when it comes out, we're just going to hold it, and then we're going to take it over to the area where we go in to clean it out and empty it. So again, designated areas on campsite service stations where you can empty them. So you're going to lift it up, you're going to point it downwards, press the airlock button and make sure your face is well away, and then empty it. You're going to clean it out. You're going to make sure that you give it a swirl, shake it up, make sure any excess is gone in there, keep on emptying it. And then when you fill it back up, you're going to get the blue solution, which is in the back. You're going to fill it up, and then you're going to pop it in there, get some water mix to go in, put it in like that, and then pump it back in, and it will click into place. Always make sure this is locked. They are quite expensive, so people, if they do have a faulty one or it's broken, they will swap it out. So always make sure that's locked. And then we have got our garage, which I'm going to show around the other side, because that's where we keep all of the bits and bobs that you need, and there's nothing really in this side. So at the back of the vehicle, there's not a lot to show you. We've got the cameras, which I pointed out earlier. There's just two up there. And then we've got the bike rack. We do ask you if you want the bike rack, because a lot of people just like it to be taken off if they are not going to use it. So we are going to pull it forward, and we have sometimes secured it because they can give way. We've got these hooks here, so we're going to flip them out and then put it down. You put your bikes on, angle these, this comes forward as well, put them onto your frames, and then attach your wheels onto there as well. So when you have your bikes on, you can use this as part of the alarm system, which I mentioned in the front. You're going to plug this into under here. There's a circle underneath it. It will only go one way. There is a notch out of it to indicate which way it goes. Then you're going to pull this apart by the black bits, not just by the cables, because they will rip out and then it will not be usable to anyone. And once they are in, you wrap it around, join them back together. So if anybody pulls it apart, pulls it out from underneath, or tampers with it whatsoever, or cuts it, the alarm will go off and you will hear it. If you do obviously request a bike rack, we will ask you if you want these. We just do not keep them in the vehicles because they do go missing. They are very expensive, so we sign them out with the vehicle. Once you've finished with the bike rack, you can pop it up, turn these plastic bits back into place, and then it is secured. We do often like to just put some of these around just to make sure that it isn't going to fall down, because over time they do just give, but those should be more than enough. So now on the passenger side of the vehicle, I'm going to show you the garage. So we're going to turn this, it's going to pop out. That just makes it easier if you turn the key back to lock it, when it comes to locking it, because otherwise you'll be holding it in and wondering which way is locked. There is a latch over here if it's a windy day, so just pop that on just in case. And then in here, you've got your blue solution for the toilet, which I mentioned earlier. You've got your blue hose. It's a flexi kind of hose. You've got the hose end, which obviously goes into the motorhome to fill it. And then you've got your adapter with a quick release there, and that can go on the campsite tap if they don't have one. Just always make sure that is there. Otherwise you will struggle at the next campsite, and obviously people after you will struggle. And then the hookup cable, which I will cover in a moment. This side goes into the motorhome, that slots in, and this goes into the motorhome. And then this one's for the campsite. So you do need to plug the motorhome in first and then plug in the campsite, so you haven't got a live wire plugging in. This bed does fold up, and there are hooks on here for you to latch that bed up. And then there is a fascia which can come down, so you have a massive garage. And people tend to put some expensive bikes in there that they don't really want left on the back. Or if you were just going away and there's not so many of you, it's always just nice to have a massive storage bed. These are the vents for the fridges. We do ask you that you don't clean the vehicles while you're out on the outside, and most certainly don't take them to a jet wash centre, because if they jet in there, it will knacker the insides of the fridges, and they're currently about £4,000. So obviously we don't want to be claiming for a fridge. And then coming more forward, you've got your hookup cable. It just plugs in here, and that slot goes in there, and that's your quick release. This is missing its cap, which will be replaced very shortly. And then you've got your habitation door, which is this same key. And then you have got the gas, same situation, turn it, it pops out, lock it, so then it's easier for you to do. And then the gas, you've always got 2 gas bottles. You can see which way is off, which is clockwise. I'm going to turn this anti-clockwise, and that's all you need to do to turn the gas on. You don't need to touch anything else. If you run out of gas, make sure you turn it off, undo it with a spanner, take it off, thread it onto the new one, tighten it up, and then just carry on using it. Always make sure that these are off when you are driving. I've just left this on so I can be showing you the systems inside in the video. And then on the front of this vehicle, the diesel is located here. So you open the door slightly, open that up, and you can see it does say diesel, just in case there's any confusion. And then you just fill that up, so you will have it full when you go out. Please return it full. And then you've got your AdBlue just down the bottom there. We do ask you to top that up when you come back, so you are just replacing what you have used. We will do a separate video for that for you as well. So that is everything on the outside of the vehicle, and now we will go inside to demonstrate some systems. Inside Tourer, I'm going to start with the system. So we come over here, we're going to press the home button to turn the screen on. And then once we are in, you get the tiles for all of the different parts of the system. Resources is our first one. You can see that the drive battery is on amber at the moment. It's not been out today. And the leisure battery is on green because it's obviously charging off solar. And then you've got the fresh water is shown on red because there's nothing in it. And the grey water waste is just shown as empty on 0. And you can see the little hole at the bottom represents that it is the grey water one where it would drop out. Then we're going to go to switches. We've got our water pump. If we turn that on, we will hear it gurgling away. Ooh. And then once the water is up to pressure, it will stop. And you need that on to be able to get water out of any tap or the shower. Outside light, just above the door on the outside. Interior lights, that's the master switch, but our switches are under the vehicle, which I will show as we go around. And then we've got room climate. We've got ventilating, so in hot weather you can crank this all the way up to 10, and it will just bring out some of the air from outside inside to cool the cabin a little bit. You can turn that off by that off button. And then room climate, we've got our heating. So in here we've got it set to 23, currently 20, and it's set to gas, and it should start to pulse red, meaning it's warming. When it gets to temperature, the rings will stay red. If you're on a campsite, you can turn the gas off, turn the electric on. If the campsite you're on doesn't have brilliant power because everyone's trying to power, then you can use the gas and the electric at the same time and turn that off by up there. And it is the kind of system, it will stay on all day and it will use your gas if that's what you're on. Hot water, same as the room climate system. Turn it on. At the moment, you can see that's set to long shower, 70 degrees. It'll start pulsing. Once it is at temperature, it will just stay constant red. And with that in mind, if you do have small children, just make sure that the setting on the shower on the mixer tap is fine for them before they go in the shower. Or if they're older children, just make them aware that it does heat to 70 for a long shower. You can, of course, turn that down, so then you know that your kids could turn the heat all the way up in the shower and it will be on a 40. However, the idea of the long shower is that it uses the hot and the cold in combination, so you have a longer shower. And of course, same about the energy sources there. And always remember to turn off, because that will heat all day and waste all of your gas. Notifications, if there is anything wrong, it will come up there, and then you'll need to scroll at the bottom to declare issue resolved. And when you are done at your campsite, you turn off and turn off again. And you should always turn that off before you turn your gas off or you unhook your hookup, because otherwise then you'll have issues. If you drive and you leave that on, you'll get somewhere, you'll have loads of error codes all jammed in the system. So always make sure you turn this off lastly, and then when you get somewhere, you put your hookup on or your gas or both, and then you come in and turn this on and do some things. So I've just left this on because I'm going to show some of the lights in here. And my fingers are not liking this system today because I've been outside and cleaning. So the lights are on, main switches are just on the side of the cooker here. And then underneath you have blue LED light switches, which are digital, and you press them and then the lights come on underneath. So this is actually a really nice airy vehicle. You've got your Super King bed up here. There is a window behind there, which makes it really nice and airy. We include the bedding, microfiber towels, and the pillows. There's also blinds up there, as there are on every window. So you just pull them down, and you can either stop them at a certain point, and you push them in and push like that. When you want to release them, slightly press down and lift out, and then they will just go up. We do ask that children do not use them, because if they yank them, they are perforated, they will tear, and they are quite costly, and of course we will have to charge you for that. So those are the blinds. Skylights also have blinds, so you can see this one, blackout that way, and then you've got fly screen. There are fly screens on every window just behind the blinds too. So you've got your main seating area. So you've got travel seats either side. Seatbelts are hidden this side at the moment, they're hidden under there. And you take this back pad off and you feed it through the seatbelts, and those ones are exposed. You've got your driver and passenger seat there. We've already covered the cab. The only thing I need to show you are these. So these go on the windows. So you can see these are the side windows. The foiled side goes outside, and we can see this is the driver's side. When you pop them on, you've got the suction pads. When you take them off, we ask you to pull them by them, not by that, because these eyelets can break. And then obviously they're not usable as well. So we just ask that when you pull them off, you make sure that you pull them by the bits, not by the fabric. So I'm going to pop those out of the way. That's everything in the cab. Just making our way back, you have storage in here, and there's a rail up there. If you like to hang clothes, please bring your own hangers, because we have had complaints that they're jangling, so people bring their own now, please. And we've got all of these storage are empty. You've got the TV remote in the corner there on some Velcro so it doesn't move around. And with that in mind, we do have the TV. We do say that the TVs are a bonus. We do not guarantee signal. It is not part of your higher costs. We do like to think that people go away to be together and not sit and watch TV. But if you are a person that absolutely needs a TV all the time, please do bring your own device loaded with films or whatever it is you watch. You can put DVDs in the side, but depending on where you go, we cannot guarantee signal. So as we have stated on the website, we will not take any responsibility for lack of signal. If that's going to affect your holiday that much, then you need to bring your own solutions if you are a person that heavily relies on a TV. Moving forward this way, we have then got the kitchen area. So we have got our hob just here. So we have got the 3-tier hob, and you just turn, click, and then it works. Just make sure that when you are done, that this is cooled before you put that down. Otherwise it will shatter and obviously break. Then you've got the oven, which is also gas. So you just turn it and ignite it, and then turn it to the center so it's off, and then the grill is the opposite way. And just make sure, obviously, it's off in the middle. You've got your tea towel, and then always make sure nothing is moved when you come into the cupboards. So you've got oven glove on the side, and fire blanket, fire extinguisher. You've got all your plates, glassware, mugs, cafetiere, and whistling kettle. And then on the side, you've got some cleaning products to keep you going. So if we just swap sides, so over this way, I can open the cupboard up, and in here you have got your drawer with your chopping board, cutlery, utensils for cooking, sharps, and then under here you've got your pans, Pyrex dishes, and your rescue for the top. So don't put anything hot in here because they are a kind of plastic and they will melt. So we've got a little tray in there for you. These gas things here should always be left alone. They do not to be edited at all. And then you have got your fridge. So at the moment the fridge is off. So I'm just going to turn it on this end button and hold that in. You'll see it comes to life with everything on, and it's automatic and it's found gas, and it's not quite at full chill. So I'm just going to hold this middle one down and make sure it's still on A, and then I'm going to up that to its maximum chill, and then just leave it. So when you drive, the A will automatically find the engine battery and that will shine in blue. And when you're on a campsite, it will show the plug, and then that will be in operation. You can see it only has this little blue light on at the moment, and everything else has gone off. That is to save power. Everything in a motorhome does save power, so things will turn off unless they're being used, and the blue little light is an indicator that it's on. If it's flashing, it's got an error, then you just hold that on button off, it all goes off, start it again. And sometimes it goes wrong because if you've stopped and you've taken quite a while to get hook up or put your gas on, it will stop finding, because obviously, again, it's just one of those safety mechanisms, doesn't want to keep finding and use up power. So all you need to do is turn it off and turn it on, and once you've got hookup or gas, it will tell you which one it's found. To open the fridge, pull that to the right, open. You've got freezer at the top, very small compartment. If you're bringing pizzas, I always advise people to take them out of the boxes because they will fit in, but they won't in the boxes. And then on the bottom, you've got the drawer, which most people, I think, use for alcohol, including myself, but obviously you can put other stuff in there. And then you have got your rear bunk beds. So you've got a single down there, and you've got your towel and pillows. And then this one will sleep two. We always provide it with one. Obviously, we know you're more people. We will put the second one up there. And that is got king bedding on it. So it is quite a big one, but it's got a slight cutout, but no problem sleeping two adults by any means. Then we're going to go into the shower room. So what we can see in here, we have got a light switch, which is located, I'm just going to move out to the way. Light switch is located under the cupboard. And then we've got our lights. And then we've got our loo, which we've left open to show what we said outside. That slider there is what we need to do to make the toilet open. So the rule is, make sure the toilet is open when you are going to the loo, and then it's closed the rest of the time. So it's closed to stop the bad smells coming out. It's closed to stop any sloshing when you're driving. So you've got storage up here and you've got storage down here. Everything is pushed button because it locks when you're driving, and you pull down with that one. And then if I move around in the shower, this one does have a separate shower, which is quite unusual. It has a touch light, bizarrely. So you've got the shower. Again, the wheel arch is there, so that's what that little step is. Quite handy though for showering small children. And then you have the shower screen on the side, which always needs to be closed when you are showering because floors in motorhomes are very, very delicate. So that is everything in Tourer. So ahead of your journey, obviously this video can be really helpful to get a grasp of how things work. On the day, if you're not sure, please do ask whoever is doing the vehicle handover to you and just say, I wasn't sure about this, can you show me in person? That's no problem whatsoever. And then just making sure that when you're out, we are always there to help. Of course, during closed hours, you can email us. We will always pick it up, or WhatsApp us on the same landline number. So if you call a landline, it says we're currently closed, get on the WhatsApp that landline number, and it goes to all of us. But we do ask after 10 o'clock at night, it is emergencies only. So emergencies comprising of things that accidents, anything extreme, not that I can't find a plate or my water isn't working. Obviously, it might be important to you at the time, but we can email us, and if someone is around, we will help, but it is extreme circumstances because we would like to think people are settled, they've stopped for the night, got everything working that they need to do, but the videos are always there back to refer to, but we will help you, of course, but just after 10 o'clock, it is extreme emergencies only. So that's it from me. We look forward to seeing you very soon. Do email us if you've got any questions, and of course, we'll see you on the day.